Well, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Big Rose Kitchen. Now, we've had some great feedback, a lot of questions about the fondue pot, and has that arrived back in Melbourne? Well, sadly no. So Simon, if you can't find it, eBay, and I want the stainless steel one, and I want the coloured skewers so you don't get them mixed up, which is very important in COVID times. Anyway, so on today's episode, unfortunately there is no paired wine with this dish because it's 8 a.m. Saturday morning in Melbourne. So I'm actually making a croque monsieur for breakfast that we're going to show you. You can make this a croque madame for the vegetarians amongst us. So all you need to do, vegetarians, take out the ham and you're good to go. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start the prep. I've got a beautiful 17-hour sourdough. I'm not going to tell you where I bought it from because I currently have to line up between 20 and 30 minutes in these COVID days to get access to this bread. So I'm not going to tell you where because there's a lot of Melbourne subscribers and I don't want to be in that queue any longer. So look, the first thing, let's slice up the bread. You can toast it if you wish. I like it toasted, and we will start preparing. Now, the other ingredient here is an Adelaide tomato. Now, this is one of the most beautiful tomatoes you can get. It's an heirloom tomato, and it is extremely sweet naturally, and one I recommend with this dish. But at the end of the day, you can use any tomato you like. Okay, so the next step is we're going to toast the bread and we're going to make a bechamel sauce. So we're doing the bechamel sauce, and bechamel is one of the 5 classic French sauces that you need to have in your repertoire. It can be used universally in a hell of a lot of dishes. So master this one. It's so simple to do. So first of all, I've got a tablespoon approximately of butter in the saucepan. So once your butter is sizzling along in the pan, we're going to add some flour and to make a white roux. Now, my dear old mum told me that with a roux, you've got the right consistency when the roux follows your spoon around the pan. So it's all come together. So that's about right. And we're just cooking the flour, and that's going to be your thickening agent for the bechamel. So once that's done, we just gradually add some milk. And if you're vegan, you could add almond milk instead of traditional cow's milk. You can use light milk. So there's a lot of flexibility with this sauce. And we're getting it to a consistency where it will stick to the back of the wooden spoon. Now I'm going to add some cheddar cheese. I'm actually using a Cracker Barrel vintage aged cheese, but you can use anything that you might have in the fridge to pull this sauce together. Then pepper, salt, and a pinch of nutmeg, and the sauce is done. Now you do have to cook it out so you don't have a floury taste. My apologies. So it will need to boil. And you can keep adding milk to get the right consistency. As my mum again taught me when I was a young boy, you can't take it out, but you can always add more in. So it's a good tip with cooking, and clearly I recommend that you give it a taste as you go. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so it's boiling away. The flour would have cooked out, and we can go ahead and pull together our croque monsieurs. All right, so that beautiful 17-hour sourdough has been lightly toasted because this is going in the oven, which has been preheated to about 180 degrees. When it goes in the oven, we're just going to put it on the grill function, grill off the cheese, and away we go. So I start off with the ham at the bottom, and the reason I do that is I don't want the tomato to make the bread moist at all. We like to have a little crunch. Now, if you were going to have this for lunch, and you did want to pair it with a wine, I'd certainly recommend a Margaret River Chardonnay to go with this, maybe a Sauvignon Blanc. And in the next episode we are going to be reviewing a very nice West Australian Margaret River region Chardonnay. So we now put on our freshly prepared bechamel sauce. And if you are having it for lunch, this is beautiful, served with a nice little crisp garden salad to go with it. And as I said previously, just leave out the ham for the vegetarians. And this bechamel actually also works very well for vegans, using vegan cheese, believe it or not. So you just replace the milk and the cheese. And last but not least, and finally, a small dusting of cheese, and into the oven and under the griller to finish your croque monsieur. So that's all finished, absolutely beautiful. Let's get into it. Wow. Sensational. And I can just imagine having that for lunch with a beautiful crisp salad, a nice glass of white wine, and so quickly and easily prepared. So anyway, enjoy. And make sure you subscribe, it's free, and then you'll get an automatic update on every episode. Thanks again for watching, really appreciate it. Thank you.